Hello teacher, my name is Valentina Julio and today I'll be answering some questions regarding to my Práctica Pedagógica 5 class. The first question is, what is the difference between the curriculum and the syllabus? In Colombia, the curriculum is a broad educational framework established by the Ministry of Education or an institution outlining general objectives, competences, teaching methodologies, and evaluation criteria for an entire program or educational level. It ensures alignment with national standards such as the basic standards of competence in foreign languages. In contrast, the syllabus is a more specific document that details a structure of an individual course, including objectives, topics, materials, teaching methods, and assessment. While the curriculum provides the overreaching guidelines, the syllabus translates these into concrete lesson plans and activities. For instance, in an English as a foreign language course or EFL program, the curriculum defines proficiency goals based on the Common European Framework, while the 8th grade English syllabus specifies grammar, topics, vocabulary, sets, and learning activities to achieve those goals. So as we could hear from that is that the main difference of this is the scope of these two documents. While one broad covers much more topics, the other one it's much more detailed and, as to say that way, small. So the second question is, what is the difference between Maya Curricular and class plan? So the Maya Curricular is a structured framework that outlines the subjects, competences, and learning objectives across different grades or academic periods within an educational program. It ensures coherence and progression in students' learning and aligns with national education policies. On the other hand, a class plan is a detailed and short-term instructional guide prepared by the teacher for a specific lesson or sessions. It includes learning objectives, activities, materials, timing, and assessment strategies that for a particular class. While the Maya Curricular provides a long-term roadmap for an entire subject or program, the class plan breaks down that roadmap into daily or weekly lessons. It also depends on the approach the teacher is using, because you know that there are some approaches that takes lessons to be held in more than one session, so it also depends. And the class plan also focuses on how specific the content will be taught and assessed in the classroom. So as we can infer from all this information from the curriculum and syllabus, the Maya Curricular and class plan, is that the main difference between them is that they go from more general to more specific, and they are all documents that outline how the educational process in Colombia should be held. That they are like instructional papers that help us teachers to know how to basically give classes, like to perform a class. So yeah, thank you. So following the line of answering these questions, then we have the third question. This question says to provide a guide step by step to create a successful class. So to creating a successful class, I think the following steps should be followed. First, set clear objectives, because if you don't know where your class is going, you do not have anything. You have to define what students should learn by the end of the lesson, and you should keep your objectives specific, measurable, and realistic. You should also take into account the context of the students. You should also take into account the syllabus of the school. You should take into account the curriculum and the Maya Curricular, because these documents also set specific guidelines for teachers to follow in order to create their classes. I'm too sorry if I'm making too many mistakes. I have recorded this like hundreds of times. So the second step is to plan the lesson structure, and this is very, very important. I think the most important one, because this is basically where you're going to describe what you are literally going to do in the classroom. So your class should have a beginning, development, and class ending. You should also plan your assessment, how you're going to assess students and all that kind of stuff. The third step, sorry, is to prepare materials and resources. And as I said before, you should also take into account the student's context, because we know that not all schools have the same settings, so you cannot give them materials they will not be allowed to use. So yeah, prepare the specific materials and resources so students can take the most advantage from them in order to learn. You have to, like, for example, have slides if the schools allows you to, and if not, you should find another way to bring that sources and materials. And the fourth step is to anticipate challenges. You should be one step ahead and think of the multiple to say that way problems that could be present in the classroom, and you should have a backup plan in order to solve them, because we are dealing with children, we are dealing with actual human beings that have life outside of the school, and yeah, they may be uncountable possible scenarios in the classroom. So yeah, I think those are like the main steps that you should take into account in order to plan a successful class, and that would be so. Thank you for listening to me, and this is all for my video. Bye.